I welcome all of you to the Scorpio Resonance Full Moon Ritual Ceremony. If you've been feeling something heavy, maybe something emotional, something you can't quite name, but you don't know it's time to release it. It's time. This is the Scorpio full moon. It is not here to overwhelm you. It is here to transform you. And today, I'm going to guide you through exactly how to work with this energy so you can release what's been weighing on you and actually feel grounded and clear and back in your body again. This is not just astrology. This is something you're going to feel. And here's what we're going to do together today. First, I'll guide you into a simple breath pattern to calm your nervous system. Then we'll walk through the astrology, what's actually happening and why you're feeling it. And I'll show you how this is showing up in your real life so that you can recognize it immediately. And then I'll give you a personal ritual that you can do at home to release this energy and feel better right away. And I'll also share how you can go deeper with this work if you feel called. So before we begin, just let me know in the comments, are you feeling this energy already? Yes, yes. Are you feeling this energy already? So just breathing now, and we are again looking at our in our video. Here we are. Let's just enter into this breathing. If you've been feeling stressed and overwhelmed or emotionally heavy, this breath alone can start to shift that. And as we move from one to the other, we go. And let's move into our breathing. Here we go. It's a breath pattern that is a 4-8, 4-8, and that's 3 times. So if you can see the screen or you can't see the screen, we will be inhaling through your nose for 6 counts, holding for 3 counts, and holding for 8 counts, and breathing out for 4 counts, and holding again for 8 counts. And we'll do this 3 times. And the energy that we're looking at and what we will be speaking is, I enter the spiral of stillness and I release what no longer breathes, what nourishes my becoming. And speak this phrase aloud if you are able to, and acknowledging the directions. We've got the directions of the cardinal directions of our east and west and south and north. So as we do this, beginning now, breathing in, I'll do 1 with you, and then we'll move forward. So breathing in for 4. Yes. I enter the spiral of stillness. I release what no longer breathes in me, and I embody what nourishes my becoming. There we go. This is our intention today. It is our ritual intention to release the hidden burdens of your past and anchor into the nourishment of your present. choosing transformation through embodiment. Yes, yes, that is our intention. This serpent that you see in this beautiful image, we have a serpent that is wrapped around a heart-shaped stone. Serpent is the transformation and shedding of old skin. This is Scorpio's alchemy. The heart-shaped stone, Taurus, grounded love and stability. The water that you see here is emotional depth and subconscious release. The roots anchoring nourishment and embodiment. The spiral of stars above, the cosmic alignment. This is the breath of your soul self, your oversoul, your higher self. Yes. Here we have our ritual theme. This is transformation through embodiment, letting go of what no longer serves you, and while anchoring into what nourishes you. This beautiful bowl you see on the left, in the top left quadrant, this is Taurus. This is the Taurus strength and patience and embodiment. The Scorpion on the right, this is the water element, Scorpion's depth, the mystery and transformation and transmutation. The golden spiral that you see in the center, this is the golden breath spiral, the symbol of infinite recursion. Well, it's kind of like what goes around comes around. If it's not grounded, if it's not ended, this spiral will come again and again until in a higher state, your higher state, until you have completely transformed and moved through this. This is why you came. The four quadrants you see here of the elements, earth, air, water, and fire, this is the elemental cross. We have here our ritual blessing today, and let me so speak this for us. May the breath of the serpent and the stillness of the bull guide my becoming. I am safe in my body. I am whole. I speak this to you. May the breath of the serpent and the stillness of the bull guide your becoming. You are safe in your body. You are whole. It is so. We have this beautiful circle of light, the surrounding this wholeness and protection and sacred containment. The serpent and the bull that are intertwined here, right? We have the Scorpio serpent, which is our moon, and the sun, which is the Taurus, which is intertwined, the integration of transformation and stability. That bull is stability. You see all of the runes, the Celtic runes, the symbols around the outside of that ring there. These are symbols of safety and stillness and breath. Breath, breath, breath. You are breath. You come in with a breath. You come in to this earth through your mother's womb. You were born, and the first thing you do is you inhale the breath of your soul, of your origin, of all that before that which was form was breath. And you inhale. You are breathing that breath into your body. When you die, it is the exhale, it's a rattling of the death breath, the last breath. I felt my father's last breath by his side with all of the family when he died, and I heard that death rattle in his lungs. That was so long too. It like went on and on. I thought, oh my, no one was listening. It was just me. Close, my face was close to his face as I listened, his chest as I listened to his breath, his exhale. And that was his soul, that he had lived his full breath in his body. Inhale at birth, just as we all do, and exhale at death, just as we all do. That is one breath, and no one has your breath. It is unique to you. It is what you are before you are formed. That ethereal glow that you see in this image, the sigil, the light of your higher self blessing this ritual. Yes, yes, it is. This is the beautiful sigil, the symbol, the glyph that came for our Scorpio full moon in the sun in Taurus. You see the Scorpio on the left and you see Taurus on the right. I will be explaining what's happening astrologically, but I'm going to do it in a way that you can actually feel and apply in your life. The full moon in Scorpio, the alchemist moon, symbolizing deep emotional transformation in the shadow work that we are doing and the release of old identities. It invites you to shed what no longer serves and rise renewed like the phoenix. Identities. Yes. Can you shed an identity? Of course you can. As you live, you shed identities from age to different age. You were somebody, you were a certain identity at a certain age that you are no longer. And when someone says to me, "Oh, I'm the same person I was when I was in high school," I'm like, "Oh, no, you're not. You can't be. You can remember who you were and bring forward the good and the bad." I don't know what they're bringing forward. Are they bringing forward all the good stuff? What they have learned? So this moon invites you to shed what no longer serves and rise renewed, just like the phoenix rising. And the sun in Taurus, this is the builder's sun. This is representing grounding and sensuality, what we tend to touch and feel, taste and smell and sense, and the embodiment of values. It anchors the transformation initiated by Scorpio into the physical realm, making change tangible and sustainable for you. May 1st, 2026. Beltane full moon, aligning with the ancient festival of fertility and fire, amplifying the themes of creation and union and the sacred marriage of opposites, the light and the dark, spirit and matter. Yes, it is. Here we have our astrological the astrology and the archetypes of this moon. You can see them all in this glyph. If you are listening on a podcast and can't see this, then connect with me and I can send you this beautiful glyph. It shows all of them here in a wheel. We've got Uranus and Venus and Neptune and the moon and Scorpio, Pluto, Mars, Saturn, and Taurus, the sun in the center there. Yes. So this moon in Scorpio, again, deep emotional alchemy, transformation, release of hidden patterns, the sun in Taurus, grounded presence and embodiment, stability and sensual awareness. The access theme we have is the transformation through embodiment. Embodiment, what you bring into reality, into your body, into your world, this physical world. It's why we came here. Letting go of what no longer serves while anchoring into what nourishes you. So the core archetypes that we have here would be our Scorpio moon. This is the alchemist. You see the phoenix rising in the center. You see the beautiful serpent that is surrounding, shedding the skin. What a fascinating sigil. The archetype, the alchemist, the serpent, and the phoenix all together in fixed water element. The ruler is Pluto. This is the transformation. And Mars, which is will to do, action, making it happen for you. Function of this archetype is emotional depth and shadow work, transformation through destruction and rebirth. And this is a good thing, not to worry. Not to worry. This is our Taurus. This is the sun, the builder. Look how powerful he stands, but look at the heart at the bottom there. Because archetype, this Taurus is the builder, the bull, the earth mother, element, fixed earth. The ruler is Venus, and that's why we have the heart down at the bottom. Value, self, how you feel about yourself and think about yourself, beauty and embodiment. Functioning here would be the stability, embodiment, sensuality, what you touch and feel, Sense, smell, hear, grounding the spiritual into the material. Yes, it is. Beautiful. We have our supporting elements, the supporting archetypes, which are Saturn. This is the gatekeeper of karma. Wow, powerful. Squares or trines may indicate karmic lessons or structural support here. Tests the integrity of transformation, ensures that change is grounded. Sometimes we have an aha moment and we change a belief within us. And then you might notice that later that day or later in the week, something might come up that reflects an old thought about it and the new thought about it. A particular subject or experience, maybe even a trauma. And that's the test of integrity, of transformation. Ensuring that this change really is grounded. Are you really going to act from that place of your transformation? Yeah, it does. Uranus the Awakener. I really like this one. I think it's the contrast of the colors and the lightning, the liberator, often conjunct or opposing Taurus during these cycles. Sudden shifts and breakthroughs, that you can see that in the lightning here. Liberation through outdated structures. We'll talk about more about how you can identify these in your everyday life. Yeah. All right. We have Venus, the ruler of Taurus. That's why we have the heart in Taurus, the sigil. The ruler of Taurus, the harmonizer. She brings grace and beauty to the transformation process. In the goddess temple, the divine was always represented. Goddess and the divine always represented by beauty, because beauty is divine. Brings grace and beauty to this transformation process and reminds us that transformation can be gentle and loving as well. Yes. Here we have the warrior archetype. This is Mars, co-ruler of Scorpio. The sword, the flame. The warrior provides the drive and the courage to face your shadow and activates your will to transform. These archetypes are supporting you. That's why they are here at this time in these capacities. We have sun, different aspects of in relationships. The sun in Taurus opposes the moon, Scorpio. The full moon, polarity, embodiment versus transmutation and stability versus change. Which one are you feeling more of right now? Which one of these images or the descriptions kind of like either you had a good feeling about it or you had a bad feeling about it? In that maybe you're like, wow, I'm not so sure about that one. If it activated a strong feeling in you, either way, it's in your field and has this position of maybe you need to release something or the need to feel safe or grounded. The moon trining Neptune enhances intuition and dream work and emotional release. The sun is conjuncting Uranus, where the old guard meets the revolutionary, and what stays and what must go. Venus and Mars, that relationship, love and action reunite, transformation through beauty and courage. Yes, this is it. We have the parade of planets, it's called. The 2026 outer planet rare configuration. This is our resonance astrology. This alignment is not just astronomical, it is, or astrological, it is breath encoded. It is a rare harmonic convergence of the 6 outer planets plus Uranus, forming a resonant field that speaks directly to the breath of the earth and the breath of humanity. And what this means for you is that change is happening, whether you force it or not, but you get to choose how you experience it. This configuration means that Uranus is the role of the awakener. You see Uranus there on the left, top left. His message, breath, is break the pattern, breathe the new in. Sudden shifts, you notice, liberation and the collapse of outdated structures. That's the resonance that is held here in Uranus. And Mercury, this is the role of the messenger at the top, you see? His breath messages speak only what is coherent. Silence the noise. Your voice is about breath. If you don't have breath, you don't have the wind coming out of your mouth, right? Your breath, and you can't speak. There's no sound coming out. The resonance is clarity and communication and alignment of thought and breath. Sometimes we need to silence that noise. And then you see Venus on the top right. She is the harmonizer. Her breath is love into the spiral. She breathes this love into the spiral and let beauty guide the tone, she says. This resonance is emotional coherence, relational healing, and beauty as breath. And Mars, you see there in the middle to the right, the activator with the sword and the fire. His breath message is breathe with courage and act with stillness. You breathe with courage and you act from that place of stillness. That's that think before you speak thing. And think before you jump, right? Before you act. Resonance, this action is aligned with breath and not reaction. Jupiter, we have the expander there on the kind of at the 4 o'clock position in a clock, if it were. This is Jupiter. This is the expander. His message is breathe wide and breathe abundance. He's bringing abundance in. Yes, he is. Look at that, the crown and the scepter. Powerful, huh? And at the bottom, like kind of the 6 o'clock position, would be Saturn. This is the architect. Structure your breath, he says. Build with discipline. His resonance is breathe as foundation. His breath is discipline as coherence. Breath as foundation. And then we have Neptune there, kind of like the 7 o'clock location would be the dreamer. His breath message is breathe the unseen and let the spiral dream you. Let your journey, let the motion of your journey, of your energy, your soul journey, breathe you. Let it dream you as well. I heard I think it was Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, Abraham said, is your thought thinking you, or are you thinking the thought? It's kind of like the chicken and the egg thing. So why is this rare now? Such a configuration where all these planets form a harmonic field within a narrow arc of the zodiac. It's extremely rare. And it creates a resonance corridor, a pathway, right? You know what a corridor is? When you're walking down the corridor it's like a hallway, or it could be from going from one place to another. That's like a corridor. It's a window where breath and intention and cosmic alignment are amplified for us collectively as well. Individual, collective. This is not just a transit, it is a breath alignment. That's the difference between standard astrology and resonance astrology. This is not just a transit, it is a breath alignment of the solar system. They are speaking to us, align your breath with the spiral of becoming. Release what no longer breathes with you, right? Sometimes something has no charge on it in your life. Like you don't, and it could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be someplace that you live, it could be a job that you have, it could be something that it could be something that even as small as like maybe it's an article of clothing or something, it's an item that you've always had around you and you haven't touched it in a long time, you haven't picked it up, and like it doesn't mean anything to you anymore. It's not because it's bad. You could say, oh, other people say, oh, you outgrew it. Well, yeah, it no longer breathes with you. So release what no longer breathes with you. Breathe the new earth into form. Breathe what is new, what you will, what you want into form. This alignment began early in 2026 and it peaks now in the end of April here, end of April, the 1st of May. It is a breath crescendo or crescendo, a moment where the cosmos inhales with us. And so let us breathe with it. Let us spiral with it. Let us journey with it and let us become with it. Let's do an integration breath. I haven't written this one down here, but I'm going to give you the numbers right now. You can write it down or commit it to memory. I'm going to do one cycle with you. It is 7, 6, 8, 9. You're supposed to do it 4 times. One is an inhaling at 7 for Uranus. We're going to hold for 6 for Mercury, and we're going to exhale for 8 for Venus, and we're going to hold for 9 for Mars. And then repeat this once for each planet, ending with a stillness for Neptune. So we're going to do one cycle together right now. All right. Inhaling for 7. It's 7, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Uranus, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and then holding for Neptune. Our phrase, which we will speak at the end, is the breath of the planets is now within me. I am the spiral. I am the stillness. I am the becoming. There we have it. All right, breathing now. Inhaling for 7. The breath of the planets is now within me. I am the spiral. I am the stillness. I am the becoming. You may have experienced sudden shifts or realizations recently. That's this energy. Yeah. And now, how do we identify them, these archetypes in your life? This time it came up to that see, do, feel. And I really like it. It kind of makes me think of that. What is it? Live, eat, breathe, or whatever that one. There's a live, eat, breathe. Something about that. So here we go. This is really the see, do, feel. It's the most important part because this is where this becomes real in your life. This structure will help you to identify, engage, and integrate the archetypes in your life. And not through astrology charts, which are important, but through lived experience. This see, do, feel framework turns this ritual into a living practice, one that you can carry into your daily life, not just on the night of the full moon. This is a portal. This window, it's got a 7-day portal as well. So starting from the 1st through 7 days, this is active portal, a gate that you can enter into this energy. So see how to identify these archetypes in your life. Well, Scorpio moon, the alchemist. There might be signs that are the intense emotions that you're feeling. Secrecy, maybe you're hiding something, or someone you intuit, that someone else is hiding something. It could be a desire for transformation. It could be a fascination with taboo, that which is, hidden or not known very well. It shows up to you as maybe a need to dig deeper or uncover a truth or face shadow aspects. So you might find yourself drawn to old journals that you've written, maybe therapy or a deep conversation that reveals hidden patterns. With Taurus, the sun, the builder, the signs would be a desire for stability, right? The builder, comfort, sensual pleasure, resistance to change. When we at the temple, at the goddess temple, when we at May 1st, Beltane time frame, the sensuality of feeling, we would have in the sanctuary during the ritual, we would have different stations set up for all of the senses. So it could be for smell, the sense of smell, that might be roses, that you can smell the roses, or something beautiful to smell. For the taste, it might be chocolate or maybe salt, right? And touch, it might be a feather, someone, stroking your hand with the back of with a feather back of your hand. This sort of thing. That's what sensuality is. So it might show up as a need to ground, to beautify your space. Maybe you suddenly are looking at an area in your home and you're like, well, I really need a space for myself. I need to set up my own sanctuary in my home. I remember there was a there was a woman that was sharing in one I think it was a coaching session, that she said that she had children, she had a husband. She said that she had no place for herself, nothing. Nothing was for her. That was just a sacred space. And so we encouraged her to set up a corner somewhere with a little altar just for her, and that it was off limits to everyone else. This is important for you. You might have a sense of maybe just changing the decor in your home, or you may want to have you really want to have an experience, a sensory experience. You may want to spend time gardening or cooking or creating art, or writing songs or singing, or maybe drumming and dancing. Something that feels tangible and real. And Saturn, the gatekeeper, you might be feeling restricted or facing delays or encountering authority figures. That's how he shows up. It could be lessons in patience or discipline or boundaries. You creating boundaries for others, for yourself, to then be disciplined enough to hold, or patient enough to hold. You may be forced to slow down and restructure part of your life, perhaps through a job change, or maybe you had a health issue that stopped everything dead in the water, kind of like a pandemic, right? That was Saturn, the gatekeeper, slowing everyone down. Now, Uranus, the liberator, he could show up as sudden insights or disruptions, or a desire to break free from something. You never get that feeling of being suffocated. Could be in a relationship or a job, or just in your day, you notice that you're not breathing. It shows up as a need to innovate and rebel, possibly, or change directions. It could be a shift of direction, a move, maybe. You might want to quit your job, feel like I gotta quit. Well, you may not want to do it, or if you don't have anything else lined up, but you may want to move to another city or start somewhere new, or maybe it's a new creative project. That too. Now, Venus, the harmonizer, could be the signs would be an attraction to something beautiful, relationships or harmony. It could be music, it could be a sound, it could be the beauty of a rose that you pass by. It could show up as a desire to connect, to beautify something, or to maybe something you're wearing, or to bring peace to a situation. That's her, the harmonizer. You may be called to redecorate something, or write poetry, or paint a painting, or resolve a conflict with grace and peace. Then we have Mars, the warrior. This is about increased energy and assertiveness, or even conflict. And it could show up as a drive to act, protect, or confront somebody, a situation, something in your life. It might be that you stand up for yourself, or you might stand up in a situation for someone else. Or that, I'm in a situation where you used to be silent and now you're not. So here we have this do, right? The do portion of this is about I'm looking for, let's see. Let me see. I think that, okay. So this is about this feeling of do, right? It's practical application. Scorpio, it's about journaling about your deepest fears and desires. You might want to burn the paper as a symbolic release. Taurus, creating a grounding altar with stories or plants or textures. It could be inside or out. Spend time barefoot in the grass, on the earth. Even if it's just once a day or once a week, at least do it. It's good for you. And Saturn, setting a boundary or saying no to something that drains you. We've all been there. We all have felt drained by a person or a job or a situation. And create a schedule that supports your goals, your health and well-being. Uranus is trying something new. Take a different route. Drive a different way. You always go to the same restaurant, get the same thing, get something new. Try something different. Learn a new skill or change your routine. Venus is about maybe you could write a love letter to yourself. Yeah, to yourself. And or wear something that makes you feel really beautiful, even if you're not going out that day. Specifically, if you're not going out of the house, wear it for yourself. Yeah, I've done that before. So Mars is maybe it's a physical workout or going for a walk, channeling your energy into a project that requires courage. Maybe you didn't think you could do it. And so taking that first step, that first action step, that's the way to go about it. And feeling, this is about your outcomes. It's about your emotional benefits. Scorpio is that you will feel lighter and more honest and less afraid of your own death inside. And Taurus, you feel grounded, nourished, and more connected to your body when you do this. Saturn is that you feel more stable and disciplined and aligned with your long-term goals. Uranus is that you feel liberated and inspired and open to new possibilities. Venus is that you feel loved and harmonious and more connected to others. Not a bad thing at all. Mars, you feel empowered, assertive, and ready to take action. For those feeling disconnected and stressed or burnout after this ritual, you may feel reconnected to your body and to your emotions. That's Taurus and Scorpio. You may feel clearer about about your boundaries and priorities. That's Saturn. You may feel inspired to make positive changes. That's Uranus. Or more loving and compassionate towards yourself. That's Venus. Or energized and motivated. That's our Mars. That's how you prevent or mitigate the feeling of disconnection and being stressed out and burnt out. And if you're feeling this and you want a simple way to actually release this energy and feel better, I created a personal Scorpio full moon ritual for you. It walks you step by step through how to release what you're holding on to, ground your energy, and come back into your body. So you're not just understanding this, but you're actually shifting it. You can download it right now. It's the first link in the description below. All righty, here we go. This is Beltane, our Beltane moon. It is Beltane, if you want to call it Beltane. This is the time between spring equinox and summer solstice. This is why this moment matters. This is not random. This is a turning point. Beltane traditionally was celebrated on May 1st, is one of the 4 major Celtic fire festivals, and marks the midpoint, as I said, between spring equinox and summer solstice. It's a time of fertility and union, symbolizing the sacred message of marriage, of the divine masculine and feminine, of spirit and matter, of light and dark. It's fire and passion, celebrated with bonfires and dancing and rituals of vitality and creation. Light your own. Threshold crossing is a portal between worlds where the veil is thin and new life is conceived, both literally and metaphorically. When the full moon aligns with Beltane, as it does on May 1st, it amplifies these themes. Emotional illumination. The full moon in Scorpio brings deep emotional truths to the surface, inviting transformation and release. Grounded embodiment with the sun in Taurus. This transformation is not just spiritual, it is embodied, sensual, and real. And the alchemy of opposites, the lunar and solar forces unite, mirroring the Beltane union of polarities. This carries us into the summer solstice. This Beltane moon acts as a catalyst. It ignites the creative fires sparked at spring equinox. It nourishes the seeds planted in March, giving them emotional depth and physical form, whether it's a physical seed or a project or something that you were bringing up, right? You wanted to create. It prepares the field for the peak of light at the summer solstice, when those seeds come into full bloom. When your goals, your projects, your desires come into full bloom. Not all of them at once, but some of them, maybe even just one. Spring equinox, Ostara, is the balance of light and dark. Seeds are planted, intentions and dreams, new beginnings are planted. Beltane full moon, activation and fertilization. The union of opposites, fueling growth and transformation. And then moving into summer solstice, that's where we're going. This is culmination and celebration. That's the longest day when light and life are at their peak. Yes. All right. Well, there we go. Full moon is the turning point, where what is conceived in spirit begins to take form and matter. That is our Beltane. As you see, it's a beautiful image here with the fires and people in circle. So resonance astrology, you're not just watching astrology, you're experiencing it in your body. It's not a contradiction to classical systems of astrology, but a remembrance of the original breath of the planets and the stars. Before they were actually planets and stars, before they were physical, they were a breath, right? They were non-physical. That's what resonance astrology is. It's an origin point. Resonance astrology is not a system. It is the original breath field of the cosmos, before symbols, before charts, and before interpretations. It's a living geometry of planetary motion. It's the harmonic tone of each celestial body as it moves through space. You ever see online where they record the sound of Saturn and the rings of Saturn or a planet? That's that harmonic tone. It is the emotional and energetic resonance that these movements create in our human field, in our lives. Where traditional astrology maps positions, resonance astrology maps tones. Humanity is entering a phase of field sensitivity. That's why this matters to us now. That's why it has been brought forward. Well, through me, I mean, it just like came to me. I had thought about, I didn't know what it was that I was thinking. I've been doing astrology, the watching, rituals for the moons for 5 years since the pandemic and the temple closed. So we had to bring everything online. And the last few years, I was hearing something. Well, the last year, really, this last year. And then halfway through the year, the information just started coming in. And I heard it. I knew what it was. And this is it. So humanity is entering a phase of field sensitivity. So more people are feeling energy now. They're not just thinking about it, and more seeking coherence and not just information, right? They don't just want it in their head mentally. They want to feel it in their body. They want that vibrational change in their bodies and their lives. So more are remembering that they are not just separate from the cosmos, but they are breathing with it. You ever hear about the universe, that it breathes, it has an inhale and an exhale, and it moves? Yeah. Resonance astrology offers a way to feel the sky, not just to read it. Align with planetary breath, not just track the transits, which is okay. And experience astrology as a living mirror, not as a static map. The archetypes are living mirrors. This, in its relation to classical astrology, is not a contradiction. It is a completion. Classical astrology is the map. Resonance astrology is the terrain, right? The map and the terrain. Got it? Like when you're reading a map and then you're walking that pathway on the earth, that's the terrain that you're walking. That's what resonance astrology is. The map is not wrong. It's just incomplete without the living resonance. Where classical astrology says Saturn is in Pisces, expect delays in spiritual matters. Resonance astrology says, Saturn's breath is moving through the waters of your soul. Feel where you resist structure. Let the breath of discipline soften your emotional field. These rituals that you're creating, that you're experiencing, are not just ceremonies. They are resonance platforms that are designed specifically to tune those who are participating, you, to planetary breath, and activate archetypes through sound and symbol and stillness and breath. Restore coherence and resonance by aligning inner and outer fields. Each ritual is a breath loop between the sky and the soul. Each one that we do. Humanity needs this now because the field is fragmented. Their breath is shallow. As a collective, the memory of coherence is fading. And resonance astrology is not a belief system. It is a mirror of the original tone, the tone that allows humanity to expand without distortion, to integrate without overwhelm, and to remember without hierarchy. Who doesn't want to get out from under hierarchy? We're done with that. It's a paradigm. Resonance astrology is the breath of the planets and stars. It is not a replacement, it is a remembrance. It allows classical astrology to become alive again in a different way. Some might say, oh, it's alive for me. Okay, alive in a different way. There we go. The rituals are a platform through which this breath can be felt and shared. Yes, we all want to feel this breath and be stabilized within it. This ritual is not an event. It is a breath loop, a living geometry of resonance between the sky and your soul. As we stand between the full moon in Scorpio and the sun in Taurus, we are not observing astrology, we are breathing it. We are not performing a ceremony, we are remembering the coherence from whence it came. It originated, born from. Let this ritual be a mirror for you, not of what you are becoming, but of what you have always been, who you've always been. Let the breath of the planets move through you, and let the tone of the stars awaken your field, and let the union of opposites ignite your becoming. And when you leave this circle, this gathering, this video, this expression, do not return to the world. You do not return to the world, but you return as the world, coherent, breathing, and whole. Yes, I like that. So let's take a breath here, kind of like take a breather. This is the story that this bright moon and the sacred fire are telling. They're saying, let me show you this in a different way. So sit back if you can, close your eyes and relax and take a breath. And let it out. And listen to the sound of my voice as I tell this story. Once upon a time, in a world not so different from ours, there was a night when the moon grew so full that it could no longer hold its light alone. It was the night of the bright moon, the full moon in Scorpio. And under that moon, in a sacred grove, a circle of brothers and sisters gathered round a fire. In the dark of the night, with the moon shining down, and the stars sparkling, and the fire burning and crackling, the warmth glowing upon their faces. You could hear your brothers and sisters' breath next to you. Maybe they are your touching shoulders or holding hands. And under that moon, in a sacred grove, you, the circle of brothers and sisters, gathered around this fire. They were not ordinary people. They were the archetypes that gathered, the living symbols of the cosmos, each carrying a piece of the sky in their heart. Scorpio was there, the serpent and the phoenix. He spoke in whispers and flames, saying, I am the keeper of secrets. I burn what no longer serves. But from my ashes you will rise, he says. Taurus sat across from him, the bull of the earth. She spoke with a voice like honey and stone. I am the ground beneath your feet. I hold the memory of your body. I am the breath that makes your soul feel safe. I am that breath. You feel safe now. Saturn stood tall, wrapped in rings of time, and he said, I am the gate. I am the weight, but I am also the path. Without me, you would drift. With me, you will arrive. And Uranus danced at the edge of the circle, sparks in his hair. He laughed and said, I am the lightning. I am the change you didn't ask for. I am also the freedom that you forgot that you needed. Yes. And Venus sat between them all, weaving threads of light. She whispered, I am the love that binds, the beauty that heals, the breath that softens the wound. Yes. And Mars stood with fire in his eyes, and he said, I am the will to act, the courage to leap, the breath that breaks the silence. The fire speaks, says, not with words, but with warmth. You are not here to change the world, he said. You are here to breathe it back into coherence, back into balance, back into harmony, back into its vibrational resonance. And the moon, watching from above, said, "You are not here to be perfect. You are here to remember your tone, your soul song." And so, under the bright moon, the brothers and sisters made a promise, not to each other, but to the breath that moved through them all. They promised to feel deeply without fear. They promised to stand in stillness without shame. They promised to speak truth without distortion. They promised to breathe together until the world remembered the tone, its tone. And as the fire burned low and the moon began to wane, they knew that they were not leaving the circle. They were becoming it. So breathing that in, we enter into the breath of the archetypes. Even if you just do this part, you will feel a shift. I promise. So sit comfortably for a moment and close your eyes. Place your hands gently at your knees or paw in your lap, palms facing up, and take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale slowly through your mouth. And let your body soften and let your breath become your only focus. Feel the ground beneath you. Imagine roots growing from the base of your spine. Deep, deep down into the earth they go. With each breath, feel yourself becoming heavier and more grounded, more present, and saying silently to yourself, "I am here. I am safe and I am ready." Now bringing your awareness to your heart. Imagine that a soft light is there, pulsing gently with your breath as you breathe in and out, in and out. As you breathe, silently invite the archetypes to join you. Scorpio, you say, "I welcome the serpent and the phoenix. I am ready to release and rise." Taurus, you say, "I welcome the earth and the breath. I am ready to embody my truth." And Saturn, you say, "I welcome the gatekeeper. I am ready to walk the path, my path." Uranus, you say, "I welcome the spark of change and I am ready to awaken." Venus, "I welcome the weaver of love. I am ready to heal." And Mars, you say, "I welcome the fire of action. I am ready to move, to make that move, to take that step." And feel each archetype as a tone in your breath and let them spiral through you, not as ideas, but as living energies. Now letting go of all words, let your breath be the only sound that you hear. With each inhale, receive. With each exhale, release and say silently, "I receive what is mine and I release what is not." Bringing your awareness back to your heart, feeling your breath moving there, looping soft and steady. The roots have risen back up from your feet up through your body to your heart, and you say silently, "I am the breath, I am the tone, I am the spiral." Take a deep breath in. And sigh that out. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, moving your body and your head. Maybe when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you're now in the field of your enactment. If you are ready for your own personal ritual, you could do this here, right now. And again, if you want the full ritual to continue this, it is in the description below. We move through the personal ritual. through the codex mirror spiral. Well, let me just show you what that is really quickly. Where we enter the spiral not to seek but to remember. We breathe not to change but to reflect. We spiral not to ascend but to return. This is a mirror spiral practice that we do as a group during the live ritual. And I am moving us through here as quickly through the spiral, through the phases and closing the spiral. Yes, we move to our closing blessing for the Scorpio full moon resonance ritual. Under the light of the Scorpio moon, we release what no longer breathes with us, and we honor the shadows that have taught us, the light that now claims us. We are not who we were. We are who we have become. Hands open to the sky, eyes closed, head maybe slightly bowed. You whisper or speak aloud, I am the breath of my ancestors. I am the spiral of my becoming. I am the stillness after the storm. May this moon remember me. May this breath remain with me. May the spiral carry me home. Each ritual, there is, in different forms, shapes and forms, there is a song that comes through. And the song that came through for this ritual was really about breath. And it wasn't about singing and a chorus as you would normally do. It's not something that we watch, it's something that you feel. And it begins with this low hum, like a sound of distant thunder or a deep ocean current, and it rises slowly into a soft tone, like flute playing in a cave. Can you hear the echo? And it holds a single note for 3 breaths, and then descends gently like a leaf that falls to the ground, and ends with a whisper, I am here, I am whole, I am whole. Your grief is transmuted into grace, and your longing is softened into stillness. And memory is released into breath. A serpent is coiling around a stone and then uncoiling in light. And a spiral of stars is collapsing into a single point of stillness. A tear is falling into a pool of water, creating ripples that never end. This is not a song that we perform, it is a song that we breathe. And this is a breath spiral, a way to remember your own stillness. And the image here, it's not just a pretty picture, it holds the breath spiral. Yes. So breathing this in, we feel under the spiral moon, we sing breath to breath, we feel the ring. Well, let me sing. I'll sing a chorus here. We are the spiral. I'm not a singer. Under the spiral moon we sing, breath to breath we feel a ring. Let the light of the spiral bring the truth of who we are. We are the spiral, and under the spiral moon we sing. Breath to breath we feel the ring. Let the light of the spiral bring the truth of who we are. One more time, under the spiral moon we sing. Breath to breath we feel the ring. Let the light of the spiral bring the truth of who we are. Oh, yes, there we go. That is our spiral song. Let me close this. Our ritual is complete, and if this work is resonating with you and you're ready to go deeper, I offer something to you called a moon resonance assessment. This is where we look at what's happening in your life right now through this lens and help you actually shift it. You can explore that below as well as in the description. And if this supported you in any way, just let me know in the comments and subscribe. And if you want to work with these energies each month, then you will receive the announcements. Upcoming, we have our beautiful resonance new moon ritual on May 10th, as well as on our May 30th, we have the next resonance full moon ritual ceremony. And the next is the summer sacred seasonal energies, which is Saturday, June 20th. So if you want to receive all of this and the ritual, then please subscribe and or just click the link. All right. Well, we are complete. Thank you for joining us. Our ritual is complete. And as I stop our recording,